Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel with some accidental good news from the Biden administration pertaining to guns. Did not see that one coming. Sometimes we get bad news because people slip things in where they don't belong. Funding bills are notorious pork barrels filled with all kinds of extra crap that doesn't belong there. Democrats are masters of this tactic, and not to say that Republicans haven't done it too, because they have, naughty. But this time around, a little bit of good is coming out of it, as now thousands of veterans will have their Second Amendment rights restored. Finally, the Republicans in Congress have accomplished something in the gun world beyond signing onto a bill that tries to require an FFL of anyone looking to sell a gun or two from their collection. That one was a bad one, guys. Naughty. No, but seriously, guys, that was... anyone who voted for that should be voted out of office ASAP. But before I get into this new and curious good news, since today's video is about supporting the Second Amendment and veterans, it is brought to you by a company who tries to do the same. I am recording this video the day after the whole family took the long drive to Myrtle Beach and back to record a podcast with GOA. Also, as you can see, I picked up my Gundy's trophy and ammo box in the process. Thank you again to everyone who made it happen. It is so cool to have that on the shelf back there. Anyway, so my coffee game is extra strong today thanks to Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout is a Florida-based roaster that keeps you awake, not woke, and always supports your Second Amendment rights. They support veterans, soldiers overseas, some of your favorite gun rights groups like GOA, and channels like mine. So to support them and support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. So, as a little backstory here, basically we got the mentally defective prohibited person law back in the 60s. Then, in 1998, anti-gun officials created a VA rule that if a veteran needs help managing their finances, then they are officially deemed mentally defective instead of just bad with money or too trusting of the wrong people to manage their affairs, or whatever it is, even if they weren't diagnosed with a mental illness. Especially considering this is determined by VA officials and not anyone with any mental health training. There is a similar thing for people on Social Security disability and regular Social Security. It is called a rep payee. I actually, as a former mental health therapist, have a lot of experience in this. It really literally just means that you are bad with money and it has nothing to do with mental illness. This whole thing with veterans was basically a bad interpretation of the already bad Brady Bill. Nevertheless, in 1998, the VA began reporting these vets into NICS to make them prohibited people. Now, it is also notoriously difficult to have your rights restored, and the VA did not approve a single relief petition in 2022, which is a great example of how difficult this process is. Now, you might remember hearing of this again more recently, as last year there was legislation going through Congress that would prevent the VA from reporting these vets to the FBI to get them in the NICS system. I mean, anytime that you hear about vets and Second Amendment, for some reason, there is controversy. We're gonna take these guys and we're gonna stick them overseas and give them guns and have bombs dropping around them, and we're gonna trust them over there, but we're not gonna trust them back at home. Now, mind you, having someone else manage your finances, again, doesn't mean anything beyond being bad with finances. It could be someone who forgets due dates of bills. Maybe they like scratch tickets too much, or maybe they're easily taken advantage of and are prone to falling for money scams. Maybe they don't know how to keep a budget or make too many impulse purchases. All of these are issues that many regular, everyday Americans have, but if the vet is getting VA benefits, they can assign someone to manage those benefits for them, so they don't have to worry about it. It doesn't mean that they're crazy or irresponsible in other areas of their life, even if the VA says that this one little issue makes them a second-class citizen, which is an extra slap in the face from a system that is pretty damn good at chewing people up and spitting them back out, with terrible health care. But I digress. Last year, the media painted it as crazy people being able to own guns again, even though the legislation doesn't get rid of the mental health hospitalization rule. Now, Republicans snuck that provision into a spending bill that was over 1,000 pages long. The provision that the VA can't just send those names straight to NICS and now requires a judge to sign off on the order. And as the bill funds the government, it was passed and signed. Now, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, ever the gun controller, says that it is a death sentence for thousands of Americans, implying that all these vets are going to get up and run blood in the streets. He literally said it will result in 20,000 new, quote, very mentally ill veterans buying guns every year. This has the potential to get a lot of very seriously mentally ill veterans killed. It feels like we should be very careful, not cavalier, about schizophrenic veterans getting access to guns, he says. Others call it a rollback in background checks, even though, again, hospital stays will still go into NICS. Giffords says Republicans duck the issue of gun violence and instead blame mental illness, then fight to allow individuals with diminished mental capacity unfettered access to guns. Which is, again, not how it works. And they say this all with zero proof that these vets have mental illness, especially something as serious as schizophrenia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know this, schizophrenia doesn't just magically show up after you go to war, Senator Murphy. It is there your whole life. It's a pretty obvious thing that you can't really hide, and I'm pretty sure it bars someone from military service anyway. I don't think the military would be very keen on sending someone with hallucinations and delusions through basic training and then just plopping them over in Afghanistan or Iraq or Iran or any of the hundreds of places that we are right now. That's not how it works, and is just more proof of people talking about things they have no idea about. Except now it's not just guns, it is guns and mental health. Getting riled up over here. Anyways, the bill passed. It has been signed. It is done. So now the folks at Giffords and Brady and all the gun controllers in Congress just have to deal with it. Not to mention, if someone truly has serious schizophrenia, again, it's pretty noticeable even to the untrained eye. If someone is walking into a gun shop and they're even a little bit off, most FFLs are not going to make that sale go through. But again, it's just, the folks in Congress don't give anyone in the gun community credit for anything. But that is a whole other argument. And that is it for this video. So please do the like, share, and subscribe thing, ring the notification bell, drop a comment down below for the algorithm powers that be, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.